15 channel members joined me for 3 relentless days of wheeling in the rain deep in the Ozarks.
I recommend having an awning.
Battling the elements is part of the adventure, but this trip wasn't just about the trails. We found ourselves at a darker destination.
I'm gonna stick with here.
Pushing through the night on foot, we reached the site of a murder.
We're back in the Ozarks. So stoked to be back in my stomping ground, and the rain is coming down. That smell. Dude, if you're from this area, and even if you're not, if you just come visit, you do it enough, there's a smell when the rain starts to fall. Dude, like I literally just got goosebumps. It's magical. Magical. I've been on the road all over the country, from New Mexico to Nevada, I'll make sure to say that right, to Colorado, the San Juans. Last night we watched Backwoods, their premiere of their film that I got to go out there and shoot and produce for them. Incredible time working with those guys. Super cool. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the description for you to check that out. But we set up the big screen out here, watched it on a projector right here in Bigfoot Hollow. And dude, that was a vibe. That was something special. We've got probably, I don't know, 11, 12 rigs here tonight. We got some more joining us tomorrow. And so the plan is, we got all packed up just before the rain started, and we're going to head east. We're gonna end up somewhere on the Piney, most likely. You know, I don't have like an exact spot. That's kind of the fun of this, is just rolling out there and seeing where you land. Dude, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I have missed my home. Getting back in this area, good friends, that's what my soul needed.
Over and let everybody else get caught up.
We plowed through the soupy trenches of Bigfoot Hollow until reaching level Forest Service roads. The forecast showed rain for most of the day, but for me, that's no deterrent. Much like the trees, the water is a defining characteristic of the Ozarks. When the mist settles in, I feel right at home.
You know, there's a lot of different trails that you can take to get towards the Big Piney. If you watch my videos, you know I love camping on that body of water. There's just so many great spots out there, both on the north end and the south end. But anyways, there's a lot of trails you can take to get there. And one that I haven't run in a while, it's been about a year, is, you know, it's got a lot of different names. Some people call it the Powerline trails. Some people call it the Trail to Bub's Cabin. Lots of different names, but that's what we're thinking about doing. Now, there are a lot of deep, muddy water crossings on that trail, and with this amount of rainfall, they're going to be high. So we'll assess when we get there and kind of determine if it's a wise thing to continue on. And if not, we'll back out. When I'm leading a big group like this, my number one concern is to make sure that everybody is safe and having a good time, and that nobody is doing anything outside of their comfort zone. So for example, we just had a guy that wasn't feeling good with the state of his rig, and knowing that we were going to be doing some deep water crossings. So we gave him a route that was primarily pavement and Forest Service roads to get to where we're going to camp. We don't push you to do anything you don't want to do. If you're not feeling it, we'll give you an alternate route.
We pulled up to the trailhead and aired down, the fog hanging thick in the air and drizzle settling on everything around us. The whole scene felt unreal, like we had driven straight into a movie set. Honestly, I don't think we could have picked a better weekend for this trip. Now, I'd been looking forward to coating the Toyota in Ozark clay, and this time I knew it was going to be more than just a splash. The road at the start is well maintained, smooth enough to fool you into thinking it'll be an easy ride. If you're new to this area, it's easy to assume the whole trail will be like that. But this is the Ozarks, where roads get rough fast and easy miles don't last long. This is my home, so my advice, buckle up. This year, I've pushed my truck to 14,000 feet, crossed deserts, beaches, and canyons that move me to tears. And yet, out of all those places, it's these hills that hold my heart. They feel like an old friend, carved with miles of memories already, and countless more to go. Running tight trails with a big group always takes extra time. I tell people this all the time. If you're planning to will and film with 10 rigs or more, take whatever route you had in mind and cut it in half. If you ever join me for a trip like this, just know it's not a fast process, but honestly, that's kind of what makes it special. Sharing the trail with a mix of new and old friends is one of the best experiences you'll ever have. There's a bond that forms on these trips that's hard to put into words. As we neared the Piney, I couldn't help but smile. The beauty here never fades. The bluff shelters, the massive boulders, the emerald water. Every bend in this river carries stories as deep and powerful as the landscape itself. I suspect I'll be telling them until the day that I die, and still never quite scratch the surface. Man, there's a big old buck right here in the middle of the road. Wildlife is out like crazy. We just got a rain in the Ozarks. I'm home. Like for real, I've been smiling this whole this whole drive. I don't know what it is. It's really hard to describe unless you've spent time in the Ozarks and you call this place home. So like I grew up in Central Arkansas, Conway, and I was born there and went to high school there, kind of went to college all over the place, but finished up there and then did a short stint where I went and worked kind of in Chicagoland. I lived in a place called, or I worked in a place called Tinley Park. It's like a suburb. And, it just got away just long enough to realize how much I missed this place. So glad that it came back. This is home. Earlier I mentioned my buddy Kai had gone ahead of us to find a spot. So we're just going to kind of see where he's at. He's either going to be on the gravel bar, which is coming up right over here on my left. If I don't see him down there, that is going to mean he probably ended up getting a spot. My friend Corry from Big Rock Overland, someone told me that he named that spot Big Rock, of course, but there actually is a Big Rock there at the spot. So I think that's a very suitable name. I'm gonna join him and start calling it the Big Rock spot. I do not see him down there on the gravel bar at option number 2, which leads me to believe option number 1 must have worked, or he's stranded somewhere in the woods. That would be sad if that was the case. If that's the case, Kai, I'm sorry that we didn't help you out. We're heading to camp. In the words of my good friend Benji Ward, if you get stuck in the woods, drop a pin. We're gonna go have some fun. We'll come back and see you on a different day.
Just kidding. We would never. Unless it was Benji. If Benji broke down, I would definitely tell him to drop a pin and abandon his butt in the woods without thinking twice. Hear that, Benji boy? Without thinking twice. Hey there, is that Benji Ward?
Yeah, this is Casey Guy. I got some stragglers out here. I got a Benji on the loose. You guys better come put some fence around him.
See, we're gonna have to stake him down because he's nothing but trouble. He wasn't even supposed to be here.
He rode his scooter all the way from Missouri, his e-scooter.
Every time I camp with Benji Ward, I make at least one decision that I regret. Hey, you can't camp here. What's up, dude? My backyard. I love this rainy Ozark weather. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if it just rained when we were wheeling and then magically went away when we got to camp. But that doesn't always happen. Got a good crew showing up. I was gonna start naming the rigs or naming the guys from the rigs, and then I realized that's too many things to say, but here you go. Buddy Andre got a new rig. He's rocking a 3rd gen, just like me now. And he's got him a cool little ground tent. Down over here, we've got, sorry dude, can't remember your name. Remind me in the comments. If you come on one of these trips with me, just heads up, I'm like the worst in the world when it comes to remembering people's names, the absolute worst. And I mean, I've got friends that I've had for years and it slips my mind. I'm not that old, I just don't have a good memory. But I do remember trucks and rigs. So if you tell me, you know, the dude running the blue Chevy with a bed rack and a tent, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. This guy here though, this is Taco Tony. I remember that because we also have Jeep Tony, Bats Tony, Tony Cress. Got a couple Tonys. So this one, Taco Tony. I learned that on the snow members trip. Little things like that help the memory. Anyways, Jim came in late last night. You might have seen his Jeep wheeling with us. I love doing these trips because you get to hang out with folks that you otherwise only hang out with in the comments on videos. Hey, you're gonna ruin that camera. You shouldn't be using that in the rain. Only idiots use cameras in the rain. All right, let's get this awning up.
And I was like, yeah, I said, dude, I just bought this.
The rain was off and on throughout the evening. We migrated from one awning to the next, conversing and laughing as the sun slowly descended into the tree line. For me, getting my camera out in moments like these is oddly therapeutic. Finding the frame, capturing a small slice of time, preserving that. It's become an out-of-body ritual. I step outside of time and space, like a ghost, hovering, observing. Every now and then someone catches my eye and pulls me back, but mostly I disappear. And in that stillness, it's peaceful.
Welcome to my awning.
It's kind of dry under here.
Yeah, but yet I'm like still soaked.
It's wet.
It is.
Very.
But we're in the Ozarks, finally.
Yeah.
Together again.
Well, with a bunch of other people.
Yeah. That's true.
I mentioned the scent of the rain earlier in this video, and by now it hung even heavier in the air, soon joined by the aroma of dinner drifting through camp. The more I do this, camp, explore, live outdoors, the more rewarding every step becomes. The wheeling, the setup, the cooking, the cleanup, it all turns instinctual, like a reflex. Your body knows the rhythm. Your mind just settles into neutral, floating through the motions. In a strange way, it feels almost spiritual. A church of the wild.
This moment brought to you by Open Road. Gets you an awning so you can sit outside and wondering why you chose this weekend to go camping.
Eventually, the rain let up. We gathered around the fire, the flames snapping and hissing into the damp night air. And that's when the stories started. One in particular was the story of the hanging tree. I've done a video on this tree before, so I won't dive too deep here, but the short version is chilling enough. During the Civil War, Confederate soldiers used it to hang Union captives. The man who first told me about it made me promise to never share its exact location online, and I've kept that promise. But he did give me permission to take people there in person. As it turns out, the hanging tree sits just a short hike into the woods from where we camped. By the time the fire burned low, midnight was pressing in. The forest around us was completely dark, heavy, and silent except for the crackle of the fire. And that's when an idea began to creep into my mind. An idea I probably should have ignored.
In that dark, shadowy spot behind me is a bunch of us, and we are deciding to go on a little hike down here to the hanging tree. So, if you haven't seen a video, dropped this a while back on the channel, but there's a tree up here, supposedly where a group of, a couple Union soldiers were hung. And we're gonna go check it out at night because that seems reasonable.
I'm gonna stick with here.
I know.
Yeah, wait.
I know it's.
Dude, this is huge. Let's turn around.
So,
Who's up there?
did Corey go back up there? Well, if you happen to find this camera laying on the side of the trail and you watch this footage, just know that I love my wife and my kids, and I was not long for this world.
Die young.
We have arrived. The Ozark hanging tree. So a couple interesting things about this tree. If you come look at it on this side, the tree has obviously been struck by lightning and burned multiple times. Like if you come look over here, yeah, check this out.
So I'm assuming people have like tried to burn it down?
No, it was struck by lightning is what I was told.
Okay.
And then if you look, so the road that we walked up here on is the new road, the original road. I don't know if you can see, but shine your light down this way. You can see this road right here. So that's the 18, if you look at the early 18 to late 1800s maps of this area, this is where the road ran through, and it goes back that way up over that ridge. And they rerouted it, I don't know when, early 1900s, to be down here because that was rough. But one historian that I was watching her video on this said that this tree was selected because anyone that was hanging would be anyone that came through into going towards the town of Deer Ends in Newton County would have to pass by this. You know, the road where it is today, you wouldn't even see it. But this road right here, you would obviously see people hanging there. Yeah. That's my big thing is when Scott showed it to me, he was like, I have no problem with you taking people here in person. Just don't publish it online. And I know that people will show, I think it's a cool historical thing. Like I want people to see it because it's fascinating, but just don't go out there and blast it online because there are people that'll drive through here and deface it.
Like I said, I had no idea.
Say what? Photo's great. Photo's great.
No location.
Yeah, no location. And if you're camping with someone that wants to know and you want to take them, use your discretion. But like, I'm not worried about any of you guys. I would just, what he asked me to do is not publish it online. So that would be what I would ask anybody else. They're doing Bigfoot calls now at the hills. Andre went up the hill, I think, to use the bathroom, and everyone started doing Bigfoot calls. Anyway, it's a super cool spot. This is not a spot that I'll ever publish on my GPS stuff just to respect the guy that showed it to me. But come camping with me, and I'd be happy to take you here. And I respect it and enjoy it, and don't publish it online. I spy Big Rock Overland. Corey, I'm going to shine this light in your face and shake your hand real quick.
How's it going?
Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. Hey, Corey, is this a lug nut right here? What's this? I'm just... Oh, no. I was joking.
That's pretty deep.
That'll put some life into you. Who needs an energy drink? What a trip, what a trip, what a trip. This one had a little bit of everything. Man, I have been missing this place, and it's so good to be back. So 15 rigs, second biggest members trip we've ever done. I think the largest was 17. Anything over 10 in the Ozarks is tricky, just being real. You can't really get into too much technical stuff. I mean, let me know in the comments if you disagree. Maybe you do. I think that my point is that everything moves pretty slow. Add on top of that the fact that I'm producing a video and there's lots of jumping out and setting up shots, and anyways, it's just not something that happens super quick when you're in a big group. Somehow this one did not feel gummed up. I think maybe it's because we wheeled with 11 guys primarily, and 11 or 12. One of the guys, Kai, you know, he went to camp early, and then we had a couple guys show up after dark last night. Really, that's why I started doing this. I wanted just a way to have a deeper level of connection with the people that watch my content. You know, I didn't get into this space to be some online personality that was not part of a community. You know, I got into this space because I wanted to meet these people. I want to meet you guys that are watching this right now. I want to hang out, not just be someone that is seen, but never, you know, kind of communicated with, if that makes sense. Multiple people last night when we were sitting around the fire said that they appreciated the fact that I was approachable and willing to hang out and, you know, just not acting like an elitist, which is so funny for me to even say that as someone with like, what, 20,000 subs. Like, you know, it's nothing. It's tiny. I don't view that as like a huge deal, but for anyways, I guess some people have had the experience where creators at my size or even much larger feel entitled to some sort of, I don't know, level of respect, or that's just absurd to me. I'm driving a truck through the woods, covered in sweat. I took a dump in the woods this morning. You know what I mean? Like, we're all just dudes and lady dudes. So all of that long-winded stuff to say, if you are interested in coming on a trip like this, you'd like to join us, come hang out around a campfire, do a little bit of wheeling. Maybe you're new to this and you kind of want to go with a group so you feel more secure. Or maybe you've been doing it for a long time and you would just like to see your rig featured in a video on the channel. Whatever the reason is, I don't care. I'd love to have you join us. Right now, I'm small enough, my channel's small enough that I don't have a cap on the size of these trips. We're getting close. Once we start averaging about 20, I'm probably gonna have to cap it at that, just because it's hard to find spots for that many rigs in the Ozarks. But right now, I'm not capping anything. I don't get enough interest to have to do that. So it's a great time to join. If you want to do that, you can scan the QR code here on the screen. If you're watching this, on a device other than your phone, you can use your phone's app, scan that QR code, and that'll help you sign up. Or you can click the link down in the description, or you can hit that join button here on the channel. That'll let you sign up, become a member, and then you'll get access to our Slack. It's kind of like a Discord, just a place where we can have more conversation. And so you can get access to that. My GPS data I give away to members, and of course, members trips like this. So we would love to have you join, and I hope that you will. Make sure you like and subscribe, drop a comment, share the video, whatever you'd like to do. If you enjoyed this, I'd appreciate you passing it along. But most importantly, remember, the more you camp, less deer. The aliens abduct.